Welcome back, everybody, to This Is My Bourbon Podcast. I'm your host, Perry. And with me this week is a friend of the show and returning guest, Logan Bechanan.
Good to see you all.
Founder and proprietor of the Bond and Thornbush. I almost didn't know what to call Thornbush because the name just kind of slipped my mind, and it's a good thing it was right over your left shoulder there.
Right where you needed it.
Yeah,
to be, right?
It was perfectly off camera so that I could reference it. Dude, it is so good to have you back on the show.
It's glad to be back on. I've been watching for many, many months, and I was going to say I'm glad to be back on.
Yeah,
very glad to be back.
We've been working on getting this together for a little while, and just finally got to the point where we were able to nail it down.
Yep.
There are some noises here. We are at the Paddock Bourbon Club in Lexington, Kentucky, and we just a second ago had to ask them to turn down the bass.
That's apparently the weed eaters.
And now the weed eaters are out, and yeah, we're having fun. And you can also get more fun by heading to patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast and get a whole bunch of bonus content, including but not limited to bonus episodes that come out on Monday. Pre-game chats come out on Tuesday, and uncut early versions of the podcast on Tuesdays as well. Logan's on for every bit of the Patreon content this week. Hope you don't miss out on it. That's from the $5 and up tier. You can just support the show from $1 and up and get access to our Discord. Logan's actually on the Discord, too, because he's a Patreon supporter of the show as well.
You should be, too. Yeah.
He doesn't have to be, but he is, and I really appreciate it. He gets access to all the content, which is very cool. We normally kick off episodes with a segment called Flying Blind, which I'm just realizing I didn't bring anything to blind Logan with, but and we both kind of showed our hands with everything that we brought to.
I can shut my eyes and pick something over here if you need me to. Yeah.
Well, dadgummit. How about this? We'll just shift up the the format of the segment a little bit. Let's just get this out of the way. There's a pour on the table that you and I have been talking about for a little while.
Yep.
And I think we just need to rip off the Band-Aid. Let's pour the 1 year here.
Yeah. We've been talking about this behind the scenes. You all heard about this in a podcast episode a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
May have heard the name Garrett County Distilling Company or All Nations.
Maybe. May or not.
May not have known anybody that's had barrels from them, may or may not. But we've got a little bit here to try. I'll preface it with this. It's some of the cleanest distillate that I've ever tasted. We've got these barrels. I won't say how many, or whomever else has these barrels.
He also isn't sure who actually owns them.
I know one party. For sure. And
it's a bank.
It's a portfolio, but they wouldn't be happy if we
can only say so much. That's the problem.
I was gonna say, Perry, I'll let you pour here what you want to.
Oh boy,
this is I will say it's a very clean, very nutty 1-year-old bourbon. So this was picked straight from the barrel in about February. As you can see, it's very, very light, but for a 1-year-old, it has quite a bit of color. I'm very partial to it.
What is roughly the proof on it? Do you know?
So it is roughly 124 proof.
Okay.
Yep. So it hasn't really went down any in proof. It was a barrel entry of 125. I don't know why they put it in glass cork bottles. I'll let you all figure that out.
Well, it's the exact same shape as the All Nations bottle, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
So were they planning on doing 375s at one point? Who knows what they were planning, man? Why am I trying to postulate on anything?
Perhaps.
That Garrett County was trying to do.
There's a few things that I can't really talk about, as I'm sure you know very, very well, and I'm sure all the viewers know. But I did want to bring you this bourbon so you could try it.
Yeah,
I know
thank
you've
you.
been talking about it for a little while, just to see what you think.
Yeah. So if you missed the episode I did a few weeks ago, it was about basically all of the distilleries that have, and this was literally like 2 days before the lawsuit for Uncle Nearest was filed, and I've said it before and I'll say it again. I really wish that I had waited like 1 week for that episode to come out, because that happened. And God, I mean, like, not even just that. Like, I feel like I need to do a second part, because there has been so much more that has happened since then that is just so massively consequential to the industry. And you and I talk about this quite often.
Yep.
I mean, as somebody who is, I'm going to spend some time with this while I ask you this question and let you answer. But as somebody who is in the industry, and I talked about this with Joe from Min and Mill as well, but like, do you feel any sense of dread from how like just almost dire things feel with some of these newer brands right now?
Yes and no.
Okay.
It depends on what the brand is looking to produce. I will say that's probably a very cop-out answer. That it's like, well, it depends on what they make. The very real thing is within the industry right now is that there's a lot of rye bourbon on the market.
Yeah.
There's a lot of barrels of rye bourbon on the market that nobody has accounted for.
Okay.
That aren't necessarily going towards a brand, that they're just existing. So this is one of those. So not going further into that, but there's just a lot of distilleries that have came on the market within the past couple years. And I was going to say, you can admit to that as well. And to be honest with you, this is one of the best distillates that I've had from one of them.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's 1 year old. It's a 7129 or 70219. I'm not sure yet. I'm still waiting to find out. I'm still waiting to hear the confirmation. But it's very, very good. It's one of the cleanest distillates I've ever tried.
That's really, really surprising, honestly.
Yeah. Even at a year old. I mean, it's something that, on the nose, it doesn't really have a ton of ethanol, which I'm a big fan of. It has a nice kind of butterscotch note to it.
Yeah.
But that kind of evolves as you taste it a little bit. It's a little more kind of as like a caramel corn kind of note. Has a little bit of bitterness in it from the grain. But even on the proof, it's not too terrible.
It also just really does not drink like 124 proof.
Yeah.
At all. I'm really shocked by how, I'm sorry, smooth it is. I struggle to find another word for this other than it's just very easy to drink. At the end of it all.
It doesn't have that ethanol burn that people kind of expect.
Yeah.
A lot of people, when they think bourbon, think, nail polish remover or just burn.
Yeah.
And that's kind of something with our brand I'm kind of trying to take away. And even with this, like I'm a big fan of, it's 124 proof. It doesn't have that kind of, I call it an ethanol burn or a nail polish remover type of burn. It's got a really nice kind of sweet note to it, even for a year old.
I'm finding this like candy corn note midway through that is really interesting. That's also it's just very sweet, like overall,
especially for a rye bourbon.
Yeah, oddly enough, candy corn, and then like I almost said snickerdoodle cookie, but I don't think it's snickerdoodle. It's almost like a chocolate chip cookie without the chocolate chips.
Yeah, it doesn't really have
brown
the spice.
sugar.
I will say it doesn't have the spice. It has kind of like the kind of additional notes, the brown sugar, the dark kind of notes that complement the chocolate, but it doesn't really have that like super kind of chocolate note to it.
Yeah,
it's very odd for a 1 year old product. I don't know how many 1 year olds you've tried before.
You want to rephrase that maybe, or
is this the first 1 year old you've tried before? Or first 1 year old bourbon, excuse me, you've tried before. That's probably much, much better. Excuse me. Forget you're a parent. But yeah, I mean, for this, I was very, very impressed. I tried it right out of the barrel when we were, I drilled a hole in the barrel and took this into a bottle.
Yeah. It doesn't have that like that grit either of just drinking straight from the barrel. I mean, it is just you're right. I think clean is just a very, very good way of describing this overall.
Especially for a 1-year-old. I mean, you think a 1-year-old, you think it's got this burn, or this 1-year-old bourbon, it's super
Unrefined.
ethanol forward, unrefined.
Yeah.
It's not smooth. And it's like you try this and it's like, whoa, this is completely different.
Surprisingly so, yeah, for sure. I like this a lot. I'm very surprised by it. That's, I mean, if we're gonna talk flying blind, I'm going into this blind, I guess, or I was. But anyway, Logan, what have you been drinking recently?
Very good question. I was thinking about
You gonna
this.
shill for the Bond real quick, or
No, I am not actually. So I'll preface this by saying I got trained by a very notable individual in the bourbon industry, and they let me try a 26-year-old 36% rye.
Jeez.
I'm sure you can guess where that's from if you're a bourbon fan.
Holy moly.
But I have not been able to forget it since.
Okay.
And so I've been kind of trying to imitate those same kind of aspects.
Right.
Kind of in our bourbon. We had one I know that we can't really talk about beforehand. It was 11-year
High rye bourbon.
high rye. I do not know what the yeast does to it, but I thought it was very good.
It was really, really good. I actually still have a little bit of it left in my glass that I haven't finished yet, and it's incredible.
Let me see if I can hide the label here. It has no back label.
Thank God.
So IYK. Oh, man. I can't really talk more about this, but my friend Max and Kyle will know about this. But I'm a very big fan of this. I told you about this a very long time ago, probably at the time of our first episode, that I was ordering some of these bottles.
I think so, yeah.
And I've sat on them ever since. I was like, I need Perry to try these. I need his thoughts on them. See what you think.
And they're absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. I was going to say, this one was 120 proof.
Uh-oh. Gotta be careful.
I'll hold it off.
Yeah.
Max.
I might have to do a little bit of magic so that nobody.
I'll hold it by the light. Yeah. But yeah, so that's 120 proof.
Does that say 3 of 18?
So that's how many of these they did.
That's amazing.
So this is me. This is me writing this on the bottom.
Yeah.
So
right.
That's what that is.
Right.
Forgive me at home for everybody who's watching.
We have to be vague about this. I
Probably
apologize.
wanting to find out what this is. I would want to find out about what it is too. But trust me, if you ever know about it, it's worth it. Wouldn't you agree?
I agree. Maybe we can just say it for. Can we say it for the Patreon? Are we allowed to do that?
Maybe.
Can we put it in Discord?
I'll say this. It's an 11-year high rye bourbon from Kentucky, and we don't know what the yeast does to it.
Okay.
That should give it away.
Maybe we'll put it into the Discord. I don't know. We'll think about it. We'll talk about it off air. Anyway.
We'll figure it out. Yeah. But that was on my list of things for Perry to try. Yeah, I've been keeping that since the last episode.
I was just floored by it. When I walked in too, I was graced with the Mai Tai made with the prickly pear. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Which is phenomenal. I'm still kind of like sipping on it throughout as oddly enough, a palate cleanser in between pours.
Would you like to try it on its own?
I actually really would.
Yeah. So I will say this. So I am not a huge flavored whiskey person. However,
as a producer of many,
I'll follow up with that. As somebody who produces a couple of them, I only really produce flavored whiskeys that I would drink or that I would get in bars. So this is the first of its kind. It doesn't have a label on it because it's not approved yet. Shout out to TTB.
Get on it, government.
Yeah. Snaps for that one.
That was me encouraging them, not giving them any kind of praise.
Yeah, especially with Labor Day on Monday. But so this is the first of its kind whiskey. So this is the only flavor that I have been able to find that's of this whiskey. It's 75 proof. It's the same blend as our blackberry. But to be honest with you, I think it blows it out of the water.
Ooh. So I also want to bring up to the don't want to call it a smear campaign because that's not quite what it was, but the call out post that I keep getting advertised from Thornbush from somebody comparing a new blackberry flavored whiskey to Thornbush that absolutely sent me into orbit because of the light blurring out of that bottle.
I love that. Yeah.
And I just was like, I think I know what that is.
I think you know what it is too.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I'll speak on it like this. It took me a year to produce this. So a year of flavor development and working with the flavor company that is producing the fruit flavor in it to make sure that it's what I wanted.
I can smell it from here. It's about, I don't know, 8 inches away from my face, and I can already smell the whiskey.
And so our thing is we wanted to be the premium product where... So the bourbon in this, forgive me for not bringing a sample today.
That's okay.
Is 3.5 years old. So it's 6 months away from being bottled in Bond.
That's cool.
Under the Bond label.
That's really, really cool.
And the thing is I've given out samples of that barrel, and people have said, I want that as barrel picks over the 10-year-old stuff that you have. Because I will say this, MGP does a phenomenal job on their wheated. They don't put out very much wheated. It's a 45% wheat. It's a very high wheat mash bill, but it's as sweet as candy.
Yeah.
And right around the 3-year mark, it competes against like a 10-year Larceny barrel proof.
Ooh, okay.
It's odd. Yeah. Very, very odd. But love to hear your thoughts on this.
Yeah. Now, I love prickly. It is the hardest couple of words to say back to back for some reason. I love prickly pear as a flavor in general. A prickly pear margarita, absolutely adore. Really excited to try this as like a, bourbon Rita, I guess, when the time comes. Smells fantastic.
I will say it's very good. We've tried it already.
You're not biased at all.
Maybe. It's very light. In my opinion, it doesn't have much burn to it.
No, not at all.
That's kind of the thing that most non-bourbon drinkers look for whenever they're drinking a bourbon is, does it have that burn? And it's like, no, it's kind of smoothed down a little bit. It may just be that we're drinking 120 proof bourbon.
I mean, true, but also just I'm homing in, I don't know, right now on the lack of like syrupiness, which, not to keep talking about the other guys, but like that blackberry whiskey is so syrupy. I mean, just an insanely syrupy product. And I think that like between the prickly pear and the blackberry thornbush, those are just, they can be kind of enjoyed on their own without having to, be introduced into a cocktail. And this is really nice, really enjoyable. I mean, as somebody who doesn't typically reach for flavored whiskey either, I mean, I'm very impressed with this, man.
Well, thank you. It's odd because, flavored whiskeys are most of the time very dominant, I would say, in whatever drink they're in. It's like that's the only flavor you taste. With the prickly pear, I will say you taste the prickly pear and then the bourbon. Yeah. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds. You get a little bit of the prickly pear, a little bit of the bourbon. In a cocktail, we'll try that here in just a moment. But I think it hides itself really, really well.
Yeah, definitely. So you want to do is that what you mean? You want to do the Mai Tai?
If you don't mind. Yeah,
let's go
just
for
see
it.
what you think of it. Yeah.
You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to just
go for it. Yeah, it's been watered down a little bit.
The rest of the the prickly pear in there.
Don't blame me at all. Yeah.
Oh, you're actually putting the orange.
I'm a little bit weird like that. I apologize.
No. Not weird at all.
For all the viewers at home, I'm squeezing the orange into the glass.
Audio listeners love you to death, but
yeah, you gotta pursue every part of every cocktail.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't get the full experience unless you do that right.
it made it very aromatic.
Yeah, I thought about bringing a torch out to maybe torch the the juices off the orange, but I think we're okay.
Cheers. Sorry, it was a faux
cheers,
pas.
yeah.
I didn't mean to. You were
I
mid
just got the
drink.
foam. Yeah. Hey, perfect, right?
It's just so nice.
You couldn't really tell there's bourbon, or even,
Not at
in
all.
my opinion. Granted, I have a full glass.
True.
Yeah, can't really tell there's much bourbon in that, can you?
No, but even I added a little bit,
Yeah.
but it still is very well complemented with the rest of the composure of the cocktail. I mean,
Yeah.
it just everything does what it needs to do, which I think is a good sign of a well-made cocktail.
Well, thank you. And that's the odd thing with this prickly pear is, I kind of came into it. I'm a very competitive person, I guess. Whenever it comes to everything, I wanted to make the best of the best, and so I tried this for the first time. I thought, well, it may have a little bit of bourbon burn to it. It may have a little bit of alcohol burn to it, and I was surprised at how well it blended with like the tropical flavors, kind of like the kind of more fruity flavors. Whenever we're not used to bourbon doing that,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah. That's more of a Scotch thing to be kind of tropical or fruity. But with this, I tried this the first time. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, that's different.
Done an excellent job. The way that you introduced this to me as well is that it is dangerous. And buddy, let me tell you, it is dangerous.
Yeah. I was going to say to all the viewers, I'm sitting there drinking this cocktail. It's been watered down for a little bit, maybe an hour or so, and I cannot taste the alcohol in it anymore.
No.
Which is scary, which may be our new marketing campaign. I'll let you know. But
you probably get in trouble, but ask for forgiveness in this case, I guess.
scarily smooth. Sounds really good to me. But I mean that's the big thing is, with Thornbush we had the blackberry out. That was the big thing. We've seen a lot of corporate competitors kind of follow that route as well. And then for me, I've sat on this flavor for about a year.
Yeah.
I've had it perfected for about a year, and we just didn't know if we wanted to release it or not. We didn't know if there was enough demand for a prickly pear.
Right.
As weird as that sounds, people from Kentucky don't really know what prickly pear
for sure.
is.
Yeah.
And so whenever I come to them and say, hey, you need to cut it out, and it's really slimy, and you need to put in maybe a juice or a sauce or something like that, it doesn't really work well.
You'll do numbers in Arizona, I promise.
So oddly enough, Parker, one of our sales reps, was here at Paddock Bourbon Club, and there was an individual here that was from Arizona.
Yeah.
And so he said, hey, I've got this new prickly pear whiskey. Let me, get you a sample of that to try it. And he tried it, and he said, this is as good as what I get back home.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He was like, this is what I'm putting in salad dressings and smoothies, all that stuff. He was like, get this in Arizona as soon as possible. And I was like, that's what I need to hear. Yeah,
that's super
awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, let's shift into talking about what's going on with the Bond.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
Since I last saw you,
Mm-hmm.
you've got some new products.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Cool.
so really across the board, everything is going to be new. I'll let you all know about this right now. So if you all kept up with the barrel ages and all that, our barrel ages were 7 and 4 years old. They're now being up to 8 and 5 years old. So a little bit older, same price.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing's going to change there. If anything, to be honest with you all, I think the quality is raising. I really would like to start you out, if you don't mind, with a 8-year-old sample of our Bond Eternal.
Well, I don't mind that at all. Give me 1 second, though. I got to fish an ice cube out of my glass that just happened to.
I was going to say, you could throw it over your shoulder. But
no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. So this is a very big glass. You don't have to drink all this. I apologize.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
So this is a 8-year-old 36% rye. This is one of our barrels. This is 124 proof. I actually had this one in a barrel pick this past week, and they just said it just wasn't enough flavor. But to be honest with you, this was my favorite barrel out of all 4 of them. You'll taste the other 3 later on.
Some people have no taste.
I don't know about that, but I think it is very, very competitive for what it is and the age statement on it. A lot of people think of MGP as just kind of this monotonous distillery that produces chalky bourbon. But in my opinion, I've tasted through pretty much everything for all of our lines. And the most character that I've found in barrels has been MGP.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know what that says.
Was it like Jack Rose doing that pick or something? And that's why you said, I don't know about that.
No, it was vastly different. I mean,
deadly.
From what I presented to them, it was 10-year-old Kentucky, 8-year-old Kentucky, 6-year-old Kentucky, and then this.
Gotcha.
And this was the MGP by far was the best barrel out of the bunch, and what they preferred. So we didn't go with this barrel per se. We went with the next one up, so it's right next to it in the rack. But it has a lot of the same flavor profile, except I would say it's a little bit dialed back on the oakiness.
Sure. I'm just going to sit here with us for a second. That nose is absolutely phenomenal. You know what it really, and it's not just because there's this old school mirror that's sitting there.
Yeah, it's not the Austin Nichols mirror by any means.
No, but it does really remind me, on the nose at least, of Wild Turkey.
So I'm very, very proud of that. The reason I'm saying that is I'm a huge Wild Turkey fan. And I always have a quote I steal from John Mayer that there is an album, if you're a musician, that you wish was yours, or a song you wish was yours. And this is a bourbon that I wish was mine. I wish Wild Turkey was mine. It's, in my opinion, one of the best through and through, no matter where it's distilled at. Take that as you will.
Sure.
So this is a 36% rye mash bill. So vastly different than what the Russell's is.
For sure, yeah.
But to me, it's very reminiscent of like a 9 to 10 year Russell's with the oakiness.
I completely agree with that, though. I mean, it's weird how Wild Turkey coated it is. We can't show the label.
Yep.
But the black wax rare character there. Can't show the label.
I'm holding it outside.
Yeah. Bring it towards me so we can pour it, because I want you to try this
I'll
side by side, because this is actually Wild Turkey distillate that was sourced for. We can show the back label. Yeah. That's fine. But this is a rare character pick. It's their 10K barrels, which are Wild Turkey. But I want you to try this side by side with this, because
I would love to.
Yeah,
absolutely love to.
So you're gonna need a clean glass of something.
This is the industry, Perry. I apologize. For everybody that's watching, I'm pouring.
Don't worry about it.
Ice water into a glass.
I do the same thing. I mean, by clean glass, I mean a glass that you have cleaned recently.
Yeah, maybe shake it up a little bit. But no, so I mean that's kind of how I blended this. So the odd thing with the Bond, so this is very weird, because we are moving the age statements up, so to 8 and 5 years.
I think that's great.
However, we are offering single barrels.
Yeah.
So would you guess that one is 124 proof?
No, not at all. I mean, and again, not to harp too much on Russell's or Wild Turkey in general, but it really does seem to read around 110 to 115 proof.
Yeah, and that's kind of the bourbon that I fell in love with, is a little oaky, kind of like what I call aged in the middle of the warehouse. So that's what I did with this barrel, is I said, well, it has this specific kind of great oaky flavor profile. Yeah. So I'm going to move it to the top middle of the warehouse. Right. And let it age there the rest of the time. And so that's kind of how I ended up with this flavor profile. So I have probably 4 or 5 barrels that I'm going to be doing for this kind of profile. But huge Russell's fan.
Logan. being a turkey fan in general, like personally,
Yep.
and knowing that you are too, if at any point you were like, I just want a bourbon that, not necessarily, mimics, but, kind of honors what Wild Turkey is, putting these side by side, even if like these 10K barrels are rejects and they went to somebody else,
Yep.
this is still like inherently Wild Turkey. I mean, they feel almost like they come from the same DNA. And this is Indiana bourbon. This isn't even Kentucky bourbon.
That makes me so happy, Perry. I cannot tell you how happy it makes me. I mean, I'm sure all the viewers can see how big I'm smiling right now. I don't smile very often.
This is not just because we're friends either.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm being genuine about this.
I am very, very flattered. I, to be honest with you, I do not know what to think. Because, I mean, my goal with these is to try to make it taste as much like Wild Turkey as possible.
Sure.
As weird as that sounds to everybody out there, but that's what's popular right now.
Yeah, for sure.
It's really good in a blend because it holds its own, and kind of the style of blending that I use is a 3-tier pyramid system where you use probably 60% of the barrels in one level of the blend, 20 to 40% in the next, or excuse me, 20 to 35, and then 5 to 20
sure.
the rest of it, and then kind of make it up from that. And so for me, I was like, well, if I can try to make barrels imitate this, maybe I can get close to it.
Sure, right.
And you don't think a 36% rye bourbon would be close to a Wild Turkey usually. And
it's so close, man. I mean, just... I think the only difference really, and I don't even want to spoil it for you because like
I have tried it. And I will say the MGP is a little hotter on the nose.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah. But on the palate though, it's nearly indistinguishable between the two. I mean, it's crazy. I'll also show you just like the bona fides for the turkey barrel.
So we're 2 years proper.
Yeah, I know.
Under that, and
I know.
Then 5 proof proper.
I know.
That to me that's absurd. I will say that's the thing that keeps me coming back to bourbon is you can distill a barrel and put it in a warehouse and not know how the hell it's going to taste.
Well, I feel like, and this is waxing poetic, I think, about the industry as a whole and talking about maybe even just the way that people are responding to the current state of the industry and the community and just not being as excited about bourbon. And it's like, I harken back to a comment I made forever ago, and I think it was when Eric and I were interviewing Rick and Ricky from 15 Stars, that when they're making something like the triple cask finish, that to me is evidence of we haven't fully push the limits of what bourbon can do or be yet. And that's not to say that like everything has to be finished or that everything has to undergo some, secondary experience for it to be considered like, its own thing. Right. But
that's a very good question.
But like to a point you were making offline that there is a certain mash bill that is making up the majority of the bourbon that is on or off of the market right now. I know that like there is a legal restraint behind what constitutes bourbon. That doesn't necessarily mean that like we have to keep doing, these 36% rye bourbons or 45% wheats or whatever. Like there's so much more to be explored, and different regions where we can put rick houses or different types of water that can be purified or whatever. And like I still feel like there is enough to be excited about with bourbon, with American whiskey in general. I mean, think about the fact that like and not that everything has to be legally defined, but we just had a legal definition put in place for American single malt.
Absolutely.
And,
yeah.
And like, that's in its not even infant stage, it's newborn stage of what is possible. And I just like, I want people to continue to be excited about this, and I hope that there is a return to the community, in a way. Like I don't know, maybe this is more of a like personal thing where I just feel like everybody got too burnt out, and maybe it was because we all drank too much during COVID, which is a real thing, and like we had to readjust our relationship with alcohol for sure. But the reality of it is like there's just so much more that we can do with bourbon, and like despite the pessimism of Chapter 11 bankruptcies and receiverships, I think that the right people and the right minds going into this industry lead to the appropriate innovations and the appropriate paths being blazed, trails being blazed that will sustain the industry for the next 30, 50 years or whatever.
Yeah, and that's a very good question that I will say I've been posed with quite a bit in the bourbon industry as somebody who is trained by people who know how to barrel finish and know old world brandy techniques, that type of thing. It's like that's where the industry is going to go next, and it's like, hold up, that not quite. That's not quite where it's going. And so for me, it's very interesting to see, producers producing a singular mash bill to try to support a single type of bourbon, which is kind of what I call the LaCroix bourbon. This may be a dumb explanation of this, but I'm sure we've all heard the meme online where it's like, oh, you taste LaCroix, and it's like you yell it into the can where it's like, bourbon.
Or it's smelling a fruit from 3 rooms over.
yeah. It's like you hear it on the TV, and that's what you're getting out of it.
Yeah,
and so it's like I don't necessarily want the bourbon that I'm drinking to be like that. And so for me, it's more so a perspective of, even if I have to kind of take the lame route, so to speak, of being the nerd who's saying, hey, we need to age this longer. Like, what about a couple more years?
What's wrong with that, though?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like it's literally a proven technique to improve the quality of a product. I don't understand. I mean, I don't think that's a nerd thing at all. I think that's just how you improve the ability to, sustain yourself in this industry.
Well, I guess for me, there's getting to be a point where it's almost a nerd thing versus like a selling thing.
Okay. That's fair.
Where
that's
it's
fair.
like, I can be a bourbon nerd and I want to release 8-year-old 36% rye that's stellar and competitive with producers out in maybe the Las Vegas area or the Maxwell, West Virginia area,
right?
Who are able to produce that, and at some point in time, I may not be able to produce with them or compete on the same level as them. And so for me, it's kind of trying to be able to vie, in essence, at the same level as they are. So
that's fair. I got you. Yeah. And I mean, this is a completely different aspect of things to get into, and we don't have to. But it's like the arguing for or against, like, making your investors happy.
Well, and I'll say this. I come from a perspective where our owner very much so trusts me.
Sure.
And, I went through the Beam Institute at UK, and I pride myself very much on being both a fan of the industry and a maker. It's like,
of course.
I can kind of listen to what the fans are wanting, what they're seeing, what they're after, and then kind of pursue that on the investor perspective of that. And my biggest thing is, like, I don't want to make it unaffordable for bourbon consumers. Because I mean, like, I've seen that in the Scotch industry where it's like, okay, yeah, this is way overpriced for what it is. I don't want to charge people $399 a bottle for 10-year-old bourbon. I want to keep it affordable. I mean, oof. Oof is right. Yeah.
That was anyway.
Yeah. I was going to say, if you want barrel picks later on this episode, see what we have.
Well, let's go ahead and move that direction then. Why don't we? I hate to dump and blend some...
no, not at all.
Some stuff here, but...
I do that all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest with you, this is one of the most favorite samples I have ever tried. We bought some of these barrels for a single barrel program. I will purposefully and the bottle to where you can't see where it's from, but at the top of the label, I'm sure you can see.
We talked about this.
Before. So this was a pot distilled 10-year-old 95 rye Kentucky. Very, very rare. I mean, you don't really see 95 ryes in Kentucky at all. Granted, it's an MGP mash bill.
Also, sorry we have to be so vague this episode, but
yeah,
when you have somebody from the industry, sometimes it happens.
Yeah. You get that on these big jobs. Yeah. But so we've bought some of these barrels as single barrels. And I kind of just want to get your thoughts on it, see what you think.
Yeah.
These haven't been released to anybody yet. I have not put these in barrel blinds or anything.
Oh, mama!
Yeah.
That was a shock to the system.
Yeah, so I was going to say, I will let the viewers at home see. So this is a 10-year-old 95.5 from Kentucky. It's not your usual suspects. It's very thick because it is pot distilled and has a lot of flavor.
You know what is crazy is my first reaction was, this smells dusty.
To be honest with you, I almost prefer that. I almost prefer something that's dusty because, I mean, I know these days that's kind of what people are looking for.
Yeah.
It's kind of stuff that's dusty or tastes dusty, just to kind of get that, like, reminiscent profile of, like, oh, I tasted something that tasted like that 20-year-old Willet from 10 years ago.
Wow. Holy Moses, dude.
So is that your official thoughts on it? Is wow.
It's intense.
So the first time I tried it, I will say I let it air it out before I brought it to you.
All right, yeah.
It was a mint bomb.
It's not quite as minty as much as it is, like, I feel like I'm just sucking on the most intense, like, orange candy.
Yeah.
But it's also covered in, like, peanut brittle. Or if caramel brittle were ever a thing.
Yeah, it gives you a very, like, bitter, almost like savory or umami type note to it. Then it fades into that kind of like confectionery, like sweetness.
Umami is actually a really good way to put it because it's somewhat, like, undefinable, but also just perfectly, like, well balanced, well rounded, and just it's really, really good.
I was gonna say I know I'm bad. That's why I'm on this podcast. But yeah, I mean, for me, this is something that, like, you can't really taste that umami note in terms of, like, a note, like, of something you can tell, like, somebody that's, like, sampling you this and be like, hey, I taste chocolate or I taste coffee. But for me, I get a really strong like espresso note.
Yes.
Kind of on the back end of this. So this is char number 4, palletized for 10 years in Crestwood.
It is every ounce of like a well-aged rye whiskey. You know what's so funny is my brain went to, for whatever reason, this being in the Mai Tai.
Well, so for me, this immediate, to be honest with you, this immediately went to me as like a peerless distillate.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
for sure.
Double oak.
It's not
kind of peerless. It's not. Trust me, it's not. But it kind of went to being that like double oaked kind of peerless rye, kind of like super chocolatey, super dark kind of distillate. And I mean, for me, like you don't see Kentucky ryes over 6 years old, really.
Very rarely. Yeah.
And this is 10 years old. And very, very competitive with, a lot of the MGP ryes.
MVP, MGP.
I mean, that's synonymous for me at this point, but yeah, it's very different from what most Indiana ryes have, just because it's a lot darker, a lot chocolate. I don't know if this is a word, but chocolatier. Yeah. A lot more chocolate forward than kind of most of your 95.5 ryes are. And especially for palletized, that was the big difference for me, is as somebody who, I don't say I hold a bias between palletized and non-palletized barrels, but palletized barrels tend to have more of a complex profile,
right?
Than what a non-palletized barrel does.
Yeah.
Especially in the sense of like, oh, I'm going to blend 4 of these barrels to make one blend. It's like it's much more cohesive.
Yeah.
If you do that, as opposed to like, I'm going to do 20 barrels from the same rick and we're just going to see how it goes.
Yeah. Do you have anything else you want to touch on before we move into our last couple of segments for the episode?
I'll start with this MGP, or excuse me.
We've been talking about MGP a lot. Yeah. It's okay.
KAD. Very similar name. 36% rye. So this is 8 years old. This is pallet aged, so it has been palletized. It is around 115 proof.
Perfect.
To me, it is a Fig Newton bomb.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not a very big fan of Fig Newtons, but this is a 8-year-old Kentucky at 36% rye. Has kind of that grainy note and a little bit of that dark fruit note. Yeah.
Oh, that is phenomenal.
I've never tasted anything like it.
No, and it's, the finish is, I've never had anything that is so consistent between the palate and the finish. I mean, it just doesn't really like it, and this is not a bad thing, but it doesn't really like change so much to anything else. It's just like, if I were scoring this, whatever the palate and the finish score would be like exactly the same. Like it just, is a very cohesive product.
Well, and that's the kind of weird thing about it, is like, you think that like proof and then like taste would be two different things. Mm-hmm. And then with this one, it's like, it's smooth. And it's like, that's not the answer we want to hear. It's like, guys, on podcasts, that's not what we want to hear.
Yeah, right.
We don't want to hear it smooth. We want to hear it's like spicy, and like, granted, I will say it's a little bit spicy. It's a little bit bready.
Right.
But I think it still kind of carries through that like rich kind of like Fig Newton.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah,
no, you're not wrong. It just is this really like rich kind of decadent pour for sure. But
yeah,
I really enjoy that.
So I mean, that's like, for me, that's surprising because it's not really a barrel finish or anything like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, that's a through and through 8-year MGP. Yeah. Shout out to the motorcycle behind us.
We're right by the road. It's very loud out here, but it's okay. So you got another sample you want me to
Have a
try too?
couple more if you don't mind.
Okay, sure.
So you've tried that year MG?
Yes.
Have you tried the orange dreamsicle?
No, I've not had the orange creamsicle yet.
So I'll show this to the audience. It's a little bit different. So this is a 4-year, 21% rye mash bill. It's been aged for a month and 10 days in vanilla brandy, and then for 10 days in orange curacao.
Ooh, okay.
So it's a little bit different. But from what I've been hearing, it's been called Best Times or Better Times.
Perfect.
Bit.
Okay.
But yeah, this one is one of my current favorites right now, just from the standpoint of like, if we want to do it, it's available.
That's definitely an orange creamsicle, man. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah,
that's so funny.
I'll give you the kind of concept behind it. So it was 20 days in vanilla brandy, 10 days in orange curacao,
Right.
and then another 10 days in vanilla brandy to get the kind of vanilla taste on the back.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Logan, you have the worst job in the world actually having to, create.
I know I do. I mean,
That's
just like,
that is exactly. That's crazy. That is perfectly orange creamsicle.
It's crazy how accurate it is, isn't it? This is another one of those recipes that I've sat on for a year.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, the thing for us is like, we're very new.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
We don't really have any groups that want to do barrel picks for us.
Sure.
So it's like, okay, we have this stuff.
Yeah.
Like we're willing to do it, but we've not done it yet.
Yeah.
So
we'll have people doing barrel picks for you.
Yeah. If you need a barrel pick, shout out, please. Yeah. With the better times.
Better times is so fun.
I mean, think of the tater sticker. It'll be 2x times that.
All right. What's my last sample here?
Last sample here. 100% rye.
No, I have not had
If
that.
you don't mind reaching that. I mean, that's kind of our biggest sample for the 6-year. So this is a 6-year, 100% rye from Green River. This isn't a release product. It was a contract distilled barrel. They said, we don't know how to work. And so we tried this, and honestly, it's phenomenal. I mean, really, really phenomenal for what it is.
That nose is just nothing but spice.
It is very spice forward, I will say that, especially for a rye.
Yeah.
A palletized rye.
Ooh.
It's a little different.
Spice, honey, mint. Little bit of alcohol burn, not too much though. I mean, overall, it is very well balanced. That is really, really good.
It has quite a bit of alcohol burn for me.
Yeah.
I will say that. But it's pretty good.
I like that a lot.
Very, very good.
Yeah. That's a heck of a sample, dude.
It's got like a honeysuckle.
Yeah. That's
type
what
of note on
that's
there.
what I think I was leaning more towards when I said honey. But that is phenomenal. So, we got a couple of segments we're going to get into here. High proof hot takes. Anything you need to air out that you've been feeling passionate about recently?
I've been loaded up.
Oh, okay.
I've been ready to go. Yeah.
All right. Logan, what are your high proof hot takes this week?
Hot takes. You need to check out Susto's album. I mean, I told this last time, SUSTO. They're coming to the Burl September 10th.
I'm going to be at Bourbon and Beyond, so I'm sorry.
I don't think they'll be there.
Well, if they're going to be at the Burl, I'm never mind.
Unfortunately not. Yeah. That's the answer is unfortunately not. Yeah. But Susto, I recommended this last time. They're one of my favorite bands. They're a country indie band.
Oh, right. I remember you talking about them now. Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a mix between Pine Grove and Town Mountain. I mean, that's
wait. So this is your tips and bits. This is not your high proof hot takes.
Forgive me. Yeah. We'll edit this around.
No. That's fine.
I am the worst. I apologize. But yeah, I mean, like, kind of my high proof hot takes. I will say the Four Roses barrel picks that have been coming out recently are very, very good. I've had a OBSQ.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've had an OBSQ from Evergreen.
Yeah.
This has been very, very good.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
I had I also have a Q. I think the one that I got for my birthday from proprietor was OBSQ, and it was very impressive. I think they are putting out some really good stuff right now. But yes, Tips and Bits is the segment of the show that we recommend things on.
Forgive me, I apologize.
No. He was just jumping. He was jumping ahead because he got too excited about things that he wanted to recommend to people. Things we've been watching, reading, listening to, just enjoying that we want you all to check out as well. So Susto's new album, Logan's recommending.
Check that out next episode. I'm sorry.
I will listen to it and I will report back next album.
I was going to say, I'll give you a bourbon if you want bourbon.
Yes, please.
I have been a very big fan of Whiskey Tree. So Whiskey Tree is another
Whiskey
blend.
Tree. Okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Whiskey Tree is another blend done by Nancy Fraley. She was kind of my blender with this.
Yeah.
And teaching me how to do all this. She did a 45% wheat, so same as Thornbush.
Yeah.
And then a 36% rye, same as the Bond Eternal for that. So more than recommend.
Awesome, man. Yeah. I just got around to watching Thunderbolts, which was not my favorite Marvel movie, but it was a movie. Good, not great if you're trying to, push the new team for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's fine. Anyway, that about does it for this episode. Logan had to go to the bathroom, and we're going to get out of here. Thank you all so much for watching or listening. If you want to follow the show, you can do so at My Bourbon Pod on all social media. Logan, you can check out his social media primarily through, like the Bond or Thornbush. You can purchase Thornbush and the Bond bourbon at your in select select markets across the country. If you want to support the show, you can do so at patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast for as little as $1 a month. For as little as $5 a month, you get bonus content every single dadgum week. If you want to get your own apparel and merchandise from This Is My Bourbon Podcast, including the logo on your own shirt, This Is My Bourbon drinking shirt, stuff like that, bourbonshop.threadless.com. If you want to send us questions or comments, you can do so by heading to thisismybourbonshop@gmail.com. You can leave us a 5-star rating and review on your podcast app of choice. You can also leave us a barrel ring by calling the number or texting the number 859-428-8253. What else? We got a P.O. Box, P.O. Box 42609, Lexington, Kentucky 40522. 22609. Sorry. P.O. Box 22609, Lexington, Kentucky 40522. Sorry. And that about does it. Thank you all so much for watching and listening to this week's episode. We'll see you next time. Until then, though, I am Perry, and that was Logan. He's got to go pee. He's gone. He left me. But it was a great episode with him, and I appreciate him, and I appreciate the Bond and Thornbush for letting me borrow him this week. See you next time. Until then, though, this is My Bourbon Podcast. Bye.